you look at where we are right now. Do you know about the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine situation?
I heard about it.
Well, Tekashi got arrested for RICO, federal racketeering, gun charges, and so forth. Did you go in for RICO, or is it something else?
No, they hit me. I had what I had before. Continuous criminal enterprise.
Yeah.
It's similar to the RICO. Had me for that, 851, and conspiracy.
Right, because RICO is the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act.
Yeah.
That's what he got locked up for.
Having over 5 people and making so much money and doing different crimes.
He was involved allegedly in various crimes. They have photos and videos of him actually at the scene of the crimes. They found items from the crimes in his home.
Yeah.
At one point, he said something on camera which looked like a hit. He said, I got 30 bags on this guy, and then sure enough, the guy gets shot at like I think a day later or something like that. Not to say that that's actually happened, but this is what they're trying to.
Oh, well, they're gonna use that in court.
They're gonna use all this stuff.
That's what really trips me out about how people don't really pay attention to like rap music when these guys are saying, "Oh, I sold 300 kilos," and if it was any possibility that the government thought that he was actually selling kilos, they would use that saying
100%.
in court.
Your music, your interviews, they have his Instagram live feeds, they have everything.
They've never heard me say that on tape, that I sold kilos.
Yeah.
Never.
But they still got you.
Yeah. Well, the conversation that they played in court between me and Danilo was, I got him. How much? And that was our conversation.
And that was enough to convict you.
That was enough.
Because
the feds when Danilo come in, he says, when they ask him, well, what are you talking about? You got him. Oh, I'm talking about kilos. What is he saying when he asks you how much? He's asking how much a kilo.
Mm. Well, the feds have, I've seen different numbers. I've seen like 95, 97, 93, but it's always in the 90s.
Conviction rate?
Conviction rate, yeah.
No, 98.
98% conviction rate. When you look at this case.
Tekashi?
Yeah, Tekashi?
He's done.
He's done. You don't see him getting out.
Take a deal.
Take a deal.
Well, when Meech was going to court, Meech was writing me.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was he saying?
What should I do? How should I handle it?
Mm.
And when he hit me and told me that they offered him 30 years, and I told him I would take it.
You told him to take that 30 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told him I would take 30 years.
Yeah.
I was willing to take 20 on my case.
I interviewed his son, BIg Meech's son.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been around BIg Meech before. I've been at his house, and at the height of BMF, they flew me out to, because I was a DJ, and they were fans of my mixtapes. And I guess the way he described it was by taking this deal, he still had a chance to get out at some point.
Absolutely.
The laws would change. There's appeals. Well, when you take a plea deal, there's no appeals, right?
No appeal.
Right, but the laws could change. You still could do something.
You can do 30 years. They got people who done 30. I have a childhood friend.
Lil D did almost 30.
Did 30. Yeah. I had a childhood friend who just got out 34 years. So you can do 30.
Yeah.
But a life sentence, like right now, I got a friend, Mr. Walls from Detroit, and he was tied into Young Boys Incorporated, and he had 34 years at one time, and he appealed to 34 years, and they turned around and gave him a life sentence.
Mm.
If he had the 34 years, he'd be out right now.
He'd be out right now. Yeah, no, I've heard of cases where people get 1 year to life, and 20 years later they're still there.
Yeah. Well, feds life is life. It's no 20 to life, 30 to life.
Oh, it's just life.
No, what they was gonna get Meech was life.
Okay.
So he couldn't have did 30 years and then come up for parole. It wouldn't have been that. My case was a life without the possibility of parole. So it was no possibility of a law changing or none of that. None of that was gonna happen.
Okay. As this case is coming together, one of the guys that got arrested with Tekashi, Shotty, who was kind of like the head of the Treyway label. I guess told the judge, we don't fold, we don't bend, we don't break. It's Treyway.
That's good. If they don't, when we used to sit in and you would be going to court, and the court is where they would bring all the people in, through the holding cells, and they would take them back and fingerprint them, and when we would be sitting in there, we would see 5 or 6 people come in, and the talk in the cell would be, who's gonna break first? Because somebody's gonna break. If you got 5 or 10 guys, 1 or 2 guys in that organization is gonna break.
So he's basically saying that none of us are gonna break.
Some of them gonna break.
Someone's gonna break.
Yeah, I would
Probably Tekashi.
I would break. I would bet everything that I got on it that one of them's gonna break.
Really?
Yeah.
And once.
How many guys on that case?
I personally know of, including Tekashi, I know of 4. You guys are saying more? 8 people?
If they got 8 people, I'll bet that 2 of them are gonna tell.
Okay.
I'll be willing to place a bet. I don't gamble either.
But you would bet on this?
I bet that 2 of them gonna tell. 2 people is gonna, cause you start talking to people about, and then you figure these are lower level guys and they probably didn't make much money. You start talking about 40 years, 30 years, and and the prosecutor talking about, well, we can get you out of here in 2 or 3.
Sounds pretty appealing.
Absolutely.